Hi everyone, I'm Sandy from Scissors in the City. I'm going to be making this card today. The things you need to make the card are your kit, a trimmer, wet and dry adhesive, scissors, bone folder, pokey tool, score tape, and dimensionals. Okay, to begin, you're going to dump out all your items out of your kit. Just be careful you don't lose some of the small items. And to begin, we're going to put the backings on some of these pieces. The ones you need are the butterflies and your flower. And to go on the back of the flower will be your petals. And the butterfly back. And the middle of the petal or the flower. So we're going to line this up. It's a little bit smaller than the wings. So place your adhesive on the black. I gotta turn it over and make sure that none of the glue is oozing out. And then let's do his other wing. And I do want to point out, while you're looking at your large butterfly, he should have a slit from his head to the middle, and the other one should have a slit from his tail to the middle. And then we're just going to set them aside to dry. Then next, let's do the little butterfly. And you may have to poke out some pieces. And then again, put some adhesive on here. Don't put it on his body because there isn't any yellow that goes on his body. It's just his wings. Press that down and set it aside. Next we have our flower. The little one. See how it fits there. Oh, that way it doesn't fit real good, so it must go this way. Yes. And again, we cut this just a smidge smaller so that it wouldn't overlap on the black. Now we'll need our big petals. And you can see on the pink there's an oval, and obviously that's going to go this way. So it's either going to fit this way or this way. And it fits this way, like that. And while we're at it, I'll put the little orange center here. Now for the leaves, what we're going to do is snip off the leaf from the stem. Now you could place it all on there, but it's a little tricky getting all of it lined up. So we'll just do one leaf at a time. Let me work up on this right side. So there's the next one. Now I have this little one. We have one more on this side. And then we'll go from the top down. This one I didn't get placed quite right, so I'm going to do a little trimming there. There. Okay. So my flower's done and my 2 butterflies. Okay. Then we're going to go to the inside. You need your card base. And I'm going to fold that on the score line. And then our butterfly kind of flips up. So we'll take our 2 big pieces of butterfly. If you look closely, there's a little score line there. So we're going to fold that back. And do the same thing with the other one. Fold it back. And then we're going to hook our 2 butterflies together. So by taking the 1/2, you're going to feed it into the other one. So he's now 1 butterfly. Then we're going to put our wings together and then fold 1/2 back. We need to put score tape on there. And burnish that down well. And flip it over, fold your score piece back, a little rectangle. And we're going to put a piece of score tape on that. Then I'm going to take off the liner paper on the score tape, only on one side. And you're going to want it just a little bit higher than centered, because we have to get our grass on the bottom here. So about like so. I'm going to lay him down. Make sure it's nice and snug up against my score line, and then close my card and burnish that well. I'm going to flip it over and do the same to the other side. Taking off my liner paper and folding it over. Next, you take your green paper, and you could do it either way. You could do it this way or this way. I chose this way. And we're going to make sure it fits right up against, as far into that butterfly as you can. And I'm going to just check to see if I want to trim any of my green slightly. I'd like it to be equal distance on all 3 sides of white showing. And I think that's pretty close, so I'm going to not trim anything. The other thing you can look at is sometimes, not always, but sometimes your pattern will match up on the green, like that. So we're going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And then again, I'm going to put it all the way up to my butterfly as far as I can. Like so. And then we're going to do the same to the other side. Like that. Then you should have 3 sections of grass, and we're going to need 2 of them. One there and one there. And because this is the inside of the card, I didn't pop it up. Obviously you can if you want. And that goes right along the edge of the green. And do that to both sides. And then up just a little too high for my liking. There, that's better. Okay. And then we're going to need some words up here, but I'm going to wait and decorate the front first. So then take your blue piece, and this has a bigger border all the way around. And center that on your card. And this is the card front that we're working on. And we have our flower. Let's put some dimensionals on that. And I'm using the thin dimensionals from Scrapbook Adhesives. And they're a little too big for the leaves, so we'll modify that. I don't think I need adhesive on there, or dimensionals on there. Now I am going to use a regular size dimensional on the grass. That'll make it a little bit higher than the flower. And And this grass will go past the edges of the blue. And then I'm just going to figure out where I want all this stuff first before I adhere it. So I have my wavy, just fluttering by words. And I know that's going to go up here. So that one I'm going to adhere first. And I did it right up to the edge of the blue. And then I will want some dimensionals on the back of this little butterfly. And I kind of just curved his wings just a little bit. I'm going to want that approximately there. And then I tipped my flower just ever so slightly. And you notice that the stem I have coming all the way down to the bottom of the white. So now I'll just trim that, get that out of there. Then I can adhere my grass. That. And the front of the card is done. So now we'll open up our card. And we want to decide what we want to say on the inside. We can say to say, get well soon, or to wish you a happy birthday. I don't think I want that much white showing under my words. And I don't want too much white showing on the leading edge of the words. And let's just make that an angle. I want that angle the same. So I use this kind of as a guide. Now I have some dimensional strips that I'm going to use. And I'll place that on there. And I'm going to put that, well, let's give it a little border. Looks pretty with that green showing there. Okay, so there's your card. Just fluttering by to say hello, spring. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you.